Jai Gurudev children, today we are going to start next chapter No Men Are Foreign by James Kirkup. First of all, let me tell you something about the poet and the poem itself. James Kirkup was born on 23rd April 1918. He was an English poet, translator and travel writer. He wrote over 30 books including autobiographies, novels and plays. After writing simple verses and rhymes and the publication of his first poetry book, The Drowned Sailor 1947, Kirkup's published works encompassed several dozen collections of poetry, 6 volumes of autobiographies, over 100 monographs of original work and translations, and thousands of shorter pieces in journals and periodicals. Coming to the poem No Men Are Foreign is about the concept of global brotherhood and equality with any place for any kind of prejudice. The poet says that the whole world is one. There is nothing like strangers or people like foreign. All of us have a common feeling of love and a common source of our life in spite of different nationalities and religion or color. We must unite to make everyone's life better. When we hate one another, we betray humanity. By indulging in wars against each other, we spoil the purity of this earth, which belongs to all of us. We all are human beings, and we should remember that no man is foreign and no countries are strange. Let us start recitation of the poem. Remember, no men are strange, no countries foreign. Beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes. Like ours, the land our brothers walk upon is earth like this in which we all shall lie. They too, aware of sun and air and water, are fed by peaceful harvests, by war's long winter starved. Their hands are ours, and in their lines we read a labor not different from our own. Remember, they have eyes like ours that wake or sleep, and strength that can be won by love. In every land is common life that all can recognize and understand. Let us remember, whenever we are told to hate our brothers, it is ourselves that we shall dispossess, betray, condemn. Remember, we who take arms against each other. It is the human earth that we defile. Our hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence of air that is everywhere our own. Remember, no men are foreign and no country strange. Now let's start the explanation of the poem stanza-wise. Remember, no men are strange, no country is foreign. Beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes. Like ours, the land our brothers walk upon is earth like this in which we all shall lie. The poet says that no person is stranger to us. There is nothing like a person being strange who is not from our area or not from our native land. There is nothing like a country to be a foreign one that is not ours. There may be a difference in the way we eat, the way we talk, and the way we dress ourselves, but all these things still count to uniformity. We all are human beings. We may belong to different religions or castes. We may have different colors. We may speak different languages. But above all these, we are only human beings. All the differences don't matter as we are brothers. We share a common land upon which we all walk. We all do our respective work. We all live and survive. At the end of our lives, we all shall lie on the same. They too, aware of sun and air and water, are fed by peaceful harvests, by war's long winter starved. Their hands are ours, and in their lines we read a labor not different from our own. In this stanza, the poet says that they, whom we call strangers or foreigners, also use the sun, air, and water, as we do. They too are aware of them, and there is no difference in the way we use them. Thereby, the poet asserts that there is no foreigner among us. They get the crops and their eatables from the field as we do. They like peace as we do. During the war, even they have to face hardships and they die due to starvation as we would have. So, there is nothing like foreigners because all the things go parallel. They use their powers of hands to get the things done as we do. Like us, they also speak to communicate with one another. So, where does the strangeness lie? Where do the foreigners lie? We are similar in every respect. Therefore, the poet stresses that there is nothing as we to be called strange or foreign. Remember, they have eyes like ours that wake or sleep, and strength that can be won by love. In every land is common life that all can recognize and understand. In this stanza, the poet says that how can someone be a stranger or a country be foreign with so much of similarity? He says that all of them, whom we call strangers, have eyes like that of ours. They too see the world like us. They too follow the course of earth every day and sleep as well as wake up. They too are sensitive like us. They have strength like us. They are courteous to love and sympathy like us, and even they can be won by it. Even they submit themselves to the lovely feelings. Overall, we can see that there is no difference in the way we live. Wherever we go, life has a similar mechanism, which is easily identifiable and can be understood with much ease. Summing up all these, the poet is right in saying that no men are strange and no country is foreign. Let us remember, whenever we are told to hate our brothers, it is ourselves that we shall dispossess, betray, condemn. Remember, we who take arms against each other. Let me tell you meaning of some words. Dispossess, deprive, means to get something away from someone. Betray, cheat, condemn, criticize. The poet has proved the fact that there is nothing like strange or foreign. Everything has a similar frame. We all are same and nothing is there that can be used to prove dissimilarity. Still, there are some people among us who disapprove of it, who try to break the feeling of brotherhood by provoking one against the other and destroying social as well as global harmony. These few people excite us to take the arms against our brothers, to hate them and to kill them. And if we, in the fit of that provoking, do something wrong to our brothers, then we are harming our own spirits only. We are abusing our own serenity. Our brothers, whom we should align, are subjected to the misdeeds that we do to them. We just degrade our own charm, and there is a slap on the face of humanity. So, the poet says not to commit any such wrong deed and not to degrade humanity. Now, coming to the structure of the poem, let me tell you, children, this poem is a free verse. It has no rhyme scheme. The poetic devices used in the poem are simile, assonance, alliteration, metaphor, repetition, and enjambment. Let me explain you all the devices turn-wise. Simile, as you know, is a device which compares two different things by using the words as or like. For example, body breathes like ours. Earth like this. Assonance is a repetition of vowel sound. For example, aware of sun and air and water. A sound. A labor not different from ound. Again, a sound has been repeated. Next comes alliteration. Alliteration is a repetition of consonant sound. For example, body breathes. B is a consonant sound. War's winter. Again, this is a consonant sound. Repetition of consonant sound is a alliteration. Next is metaphor. Metaphor is a comparison between two things without using the word as or like. For example, in stanza 1, Uniform refers to the military of the different countries. And in stanza 2, war's time is compared to the winter season. Next is repetition. Repetition is a repetition of words or lines. As you can see, the word remember has been used many times in the poem. Next is enjambment. Enjambment is a running lines of poetry from one line to the next without using any kind of punctuation to indicate a stop. Now the last stanza. It is a human earth that we defile. Our hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence of air that is everywhere our own. Remember, no men are foreign and no country is strange. Defile means pollute. Our hells of fire and dust means our hatred and jealousy. The poet further says that taking arms against our brothers not only pollutes our spirit, but it also pollutes the whole earth we live upon. The hatred, jealousy inside our heart surpasses the good qualities and the innocence of the people. Whatever we do in the state of provocation is never justified, and we make the surrounding polluted with our misdeeds. In the impression of strangeness and foreigners, we commit a grave mistake. We must not do any of the blunders under the pseudo impression of possession and self.